The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Well, welcome to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear my shows Monday through Friday all over the great state of Alabama from 5 until 9 a.m. on WVNN in Huntsville, on Talk 99.5 and WLWI News Radio 1440 in Montgomery and Birmingham. You can hear that from 10 until 11. Then hear that show again in Huntsville on the UMP from 3 until 4 Monday through Friday. With me is not Mecca Music. She is celebrating Independence Day with an independence from this show. Yaffe fills in instead. He is a radio talk show host as well. You can hear him from 9 to 11 on WVNN every single day, Monday through Friday. We have a good show for you today. Former Congressman Mo Brooks will be on with us. He's a lawyer and a former congressman, so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff we can talk to him about in just a little bit. But for right now, let's go ahead and get to the 2-minute warning. All right, Yaffe, I think we all know what the big story here is. It's the continuing malfunction of Joe Biden. They thought, hey, we had a really bad debate. What if we paint him orange and send him out to read a teleprompter where he will then proceed to do it literally? And then the next day we'll send him out somewhere else and he'll do the same thing again. It looks like the knives are out for him, but there is still a very protectionist mode here with Joe Biden, both from the media and from people within his party. The White House has said very clearly, we're staying on. You have congressmen now coming out and saying he's got to go. There hasn't been any really big names yet. But this is it, right? I mean, this has to be it for Joe Biden. Whether it's weird to say, hey, he can't go campaign because he's too old, but he can stay president. That's a weird one to hear. But this has got to be it for him, right? You would think they got to run him out. What do you think happens?
So you're kind of changing your mind a little bit.
Every day I change my mind on this because
the media did. So you just
I'm just thinking, I did a video on Thursday that said basically Tommy Tuberville after the debate said, "Hey, you're doing great, Joe Biden. You're doing fantastic."
I had some listeners tell me that too.
Keep running for president. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably what we should probably be saying. But is he okay? Is he gonna rough this out?
No. I don't think so. I can't imagine a scenario where the Democrats keep him. Well, how could they? After all of this, they would have to. I mean, the media will lie. They've lied about him up until now. But even when Jake Tapper's out there saying basically it's like George Orwell in terms of Democrat officials lying to your face about what we saw and heard on the debate night, I don't know how Democrats recover from that without someone else.
Again, Jake Tapper saying that is very George Orwellian as well, because he was one who was like shutting down when people talked about him. CNN was doing that. It's just very interesting to see. He had a report, I believe it was Thursday on CNN, where they came out and said that the White House says Joe Biden is still deciding, and then they immediately go to someone from the White House, and that guy's like, no, we're not. This report is wrong. And so a big mess here. We'll get into who might replace Joe Biden here in just a second. But for right now, let's go ahead and get to the question of this. Is Donald Trump the luckiest man alive? Is he the luckiest human being that has ever existed? And I ask this question with all the seriousness in the world. Why? Well, because Donald Trump watches his opponent melt down in front of him. And then a few days after that, after all the media that talks about that, we get a conversation about whether or not he's immune from almost everything, including killing his political opponents, which is not what they actually said, but that was forget about that. Is Donald Trump the luckiest man to ever live?
I don't know if he's the luckiest man, mostly because he still got convicted. So if he was really, really lucky, he would have not been convicted at all. But in terms of this week, it's maybe his luckiest week. I don't know if he was carrying around a rabbit's foot or something. I have no idea, because not just the Biden stuff, the debate stuff, but the Supreme Court rulings. You look at the poll numbers.
And then there's the Judge Merchan ruling where he says in his acceptance of a delay of the sentencing was supposed to happen next week, he writes at the end, we'll do this on September 18th, if we have to. I mean, and
he's no Trump fan.
No, he's ruled against him numerous times, and he's just like, every single thing that could break for him is breaking for him. This is so eerie. It's further out, obviously, than 2016. But remember the James Comey stuff?
Yeah.
Remember Hillary Clinton falling down on 9/11? I mean, again, all of these things are happening beforehand, but Trump is set to benefit from them. And if they replace Biden or they don't, it doesn't matter, because I think he benefits either way. They've been lying to you this whole time. Why are you going to believe what this new person says? This is just, they took Biden out and put the next person in. They're still going to do the same stuff.
What's amazing, too, is people are looking at the poll where Kamala Harris does better than Biden. She still loses to Trump in that poll. Yeah. So it's not like it's a big advantage. Trump could still win. That is a bad place for the Democrat Party.
And the way, and then they're trying to build it. Like they have to basically get where they want to go and then build backwards and see how it makes sense. Okay, good questions to see how it will go. So let's answer one of these questions and say, okay, what do we do in this situation? If not Obama, if not Harris, who? If you don't replace him with Harris, who do you go? I put Obama up there because I'm thinking about Michelle Obama.
Everyone's thinking
about this, and it sounds so crazy to me. But Matt Murphy, WTN in Nashville, formerly a talk show host on Talk 905 in Birmingham, he's the guy who convinced me this week. He said to me, think about this. All the squishiness you're getting amongst African Americans right now with Biden, that's getting talked about. That becomes a massive problem if you get rid of Harris and don't replace her. But if you put Obama in there, all those people come back.
More than that.
Right.
Yeah.
All those people, the goodwill of the Obama administration, it's continued. He's not tarred with any of this Joe Biden stuff. Same thing with Bush. I mean, there's always a good period that goes away. And then you just transfer that directly onto Michelle Obama. And you send Barack Obama out there to campaign.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to campaign for his wife. I mean, of course he is. He's going to get out there, and he'll be out there all the time. That's a huge asset. So Michelle Obama seems like a almost obvious answer. I hate to say it, but I still think it's Harris. So who do you think? Who you got if not Harris?
Well, if it is Michelle Obama, they better hope Harris stays on the VP ticket because then they can keep all the money, all the fundraising money. I think it's going to be Kamala Harris. It just makes sense. I don't really think Michelle Obama wants to do it. There hasn't been any real sign that she wants to.
But she's got to save the country.
I mean, that would be an amazing story for them. Yeah, I'm the person who came out to save the country, plus I'm the first female president, plus I'm African American, plus Obama, who's a popular Democrat, could be out. It's the perfect story, but realistically, I think it's going to be Harris.
Yeah, and if it's not Harris and it's not Michelle Obama, I just don't know how you get to anyone else. I would like to see a Beto O'Rourke, Stacey Abrams super ticket.
I totally forgot about him. I forgot totally about that guy.
They can raise money. They've raised a ton of money.
That's true.
And they're both giant losers, and that's what I'm looking for. But I want Biden to stay in, so I'm about to keep hoping for that. All right, last thing here. Let's talk right now about crime inside the state of Alabama. Not really a lot of Alabama stuff going on right now, but this was an interesting thing. And the mayor of the city of Birmingham, after we've seen a lot of crime issues in Montgomery and in Birmingham, the mayor sits down for a podcast, and on this podcast, he says two things that are very interesting. One of them is that we have a massive problem here because there aren't enough people snitching. And there's this whole anti-snitch culture thing that he's speaking out against. Very smart to talk about that. He's correct, of course. But then he said something I find interesting. To deal with some of the gang violence and street violence, he talked about two things. One, the rules and how no longer the rules are being followed, meaning leave the kids, women, and elderly out of it. I thought that was a very interesting comment. And then his solution was to go into some of these neighborhoods and block off some of the entrances so there's only one way in and one way out. Is this serious? Is this the mayor dealing with these things seriously? I mean, sometimes he's saying the right thing, but the rest of this sounds crazy, right?
Well, I don't think, maybe it's not crazy, maybe it works in the situation on the ground. The problem here is the culture that we're dealing with in these inner cities. And you can't talk about that because if you do, you're a racist.
Yeah.
You're bigoted.
Well, Woodfin can.
Political correctness. I don't think he can. He'll be called a traitor to his race or something like that. So until we deal with the culture, this gang culture that exists in too many inner cities, I don't think we ever really solve this problem. So you're kind of dealing with stuff on the surface. Plus you have the anti-police sentiment, which kind of feeds into the whole...
Which Woodfin has played into. I mean,
Yeah.
he's played into that. I think the bigger issue here is, and they're also, he's blaming the legislature. There's a DA in Montgomery. You can blame the legislature for gun laws, which makes no sense because you don't see this problem in Dothan.
Right.
And they have the same laws. Prison. I mean, that's the answer. The person who shoots 1,000 rounds, or the group of people that shoots 1,000 rounds in Montgomery at a party, that's not their first rodeo. They've done a lot of other stuff. They've had a lot of interactions. They're known to the law enforcement. More jail time is the only answer for this stuff. That's the only way to do it. It's the one thing Joe Biden got right and the one thing he runs from. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
That's true.
Yeah, Abby, thank you very much for being here. When we come back, we'll be joined by Congressman Mo Brooks, the former congressman from the 5th Congressional District here in Alabama.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. You can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, but you've got to call now. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have diabetes? If you have insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. With a CGM, you can continuously track your levels and trends, spend more time in range, significantly lower your A1C, and share important data with loved ones and caregivers. Most importantly, a CGM eliminates the one thing most people with diabetes hate: painful finger sticks. Take charge of your health. Order your new continuous glucose monitor today. If you use insulin and have seen your diabetes care provider within the last 6 months, you may qualify for a CGM today. We'll do all the insurance paperwork and deliver your new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Medicare and most insurances cover continuous glucose monitors, so don't wait. Have your insurance handy and call the CGM Health Hotline now.
Recover Now is a national campaign aimed at the education and awareness of the devastating effects of opioid and heroin abuse and curbing drug and alcohol addiction in the United States. Recover Now is sponsored by treatment facilities nationwide. Many of them have been where you are, and they want to help by spreading a message of hope and recovery. They're working hand in hand with major insurance companies nationwide that can help you or a loved one get clean in 7 to 30 days. Recover Now is embarking on a national outreach campaign on TV and radio to promote anti-addiction messages. So if you, a loved one, or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, do not wait. A new life for you could be 30 days away. Call us right now. I promise this call can change your life. Sponsored by the Detox and Treatment Helpline.
Call 855-723-6903.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics this week, and I guess I'm the only one that can do this interview with Congressman Mo Brooks, the former congressman from the 5th Congressional District. Congressman, let's go ahead and get started because there's a lot to talk about here. You've done a ton of debates over your life. You've done them on TV, you've done them in person, you've done them there. Have you ever seen someone handle a debate as poorly as Joe Biden did? And I'll throw someone out here who I might, David Maker, a guy who ran for Congress a long time ago, had a horrific debate when there was like 7 or 8 candidates one time. Can you think of anyone, Congressman Brooks, who had a debate this bad?
Yeah, probably the first debate I gave in high school when I was at the University of Georgia, where they were teaching us during summer how to debate. My first one might have been as bad as Joe Biden.
Okay, well,
Mine was recoverable, though. I could learn and get better. But the debate we saw from Joe Biden is based on age, and so that's the best debate he's going to give the rest of his life. Every future debate, as it continues to mentally decline, will only get worse.
Okay, so you're a former congressman. You've been up there. You've seen this stuff go on for a very long time. Is there any way Joe Biden survives this as the candidate leading all the way up until November?
Well, he's got people who are committed to nominating him at the Democratic National Convention. And if those delegates to the Democrat National Convention put their loyalty above the interests of their Democratic Party or the interests of America, then yeah, Joe Biden can survive. But if Joe Biden survives as a Democrat nominee, they are toast in November. Not only will Donald Trump win by a large margin, in my judgment, but you're apt to see the Senate flip to the Republicans and the House majority grow bigger.
Do you think that could happen either way? I mean, even if let's say they replace him with Kamala Harris, let's say they replace him with Michelle Obama or whoever they replace him with is now going to have to deal with the baggage of the policies. And what are they going to say? Well, that's not me. I didn't do that. And they're going to have to basically carry that on while Joe Biden mills about in the background being president of the United States, because he's obviously not quitting the job. So do they run into that same problem no matter who the Democratic nominee is right now?
They run into that same problem with Kamala Harris or someone else who has loyalty to that belief system espoused by Joe Biden. And certainly Kamala Harris, being VP, she has no choice but to be roped into the same failed policies that we've seen with Joe Biden. If the Democrats are really astute, and if they're dedicated to winning, then they'll make Michelle Obama their nominee, because she does not have a track record that is as lengthy and thus more open to attack as Kamala Harris does. And she's much more likable than Kamala Harris is. And right now, the only poll we've seen of substance by Reuters has Michelle Obama ahead by 11 points over Donald Trump. And for emphasis, because she's not held, Michelle Obama, because she's not held public office before, she can take virtually any public policy position she wants. And it's hard to rebut it because there's no track record that clearly conflicts with whatever her statements may be.
And the only person they could tie her to is her husband, and he has pretty good popularity amongst Democrats at least, and some moderates as well. And I think that will transfer pretty well there. So do you think it's going to be Michelle Obama?
I have no way of reading the Democratic Party discord right now with any degree of confidence. Again, if they're smart, they look at the polling data and they want to win, Michelle Obama is hands down their choice. Every other significant Democrat candidate for president either is in a horse race with Donald Trump or is lagging behind Donald Trump in all the polling that I've seen. Michelle Obama is the only one that has a clear-cut lead, and an 11-point lead is pretty big.
Yeah, no, there's no question about that. Okay, that aside, is Donald Trump the luckiest man that's ever lived? I asked this question earlier, and I'm going to ask you. You have a pretty rough history with Donald Trump going back a pretty long ways over the last couple of years. You've been on both sides here, on his good side and on his bad side. Is he not the luckiest human being in the world? Joe Biden has this issue, then the immunity stuff. You have the media just going crazy right now trying to figure out what they're going to do. And the judge in New York says, maybe we'll do this, maybe we won't on September 18th if we need to. Does that luck continue with Joe Biden staying in? Because that would be the next lucky thing. Is he the luckiest person you've ever met?
Well, give credit where credit is due. Donald Trump makes most of his own luck. Now, he does it with a lot of bravado. He does it with persona. He does it with a lot of other tools at his disposal. He's had the benefit of some lucky breaks, but he's also had some unlucky breaks. But by and large, he makes his own luck, and it's been pretty successful. Keeping in mind, he's 50-50 on elections. He won in 2016, but he didn't win in 2020. So we'll see how 2024 goes. And the big issue for Donald Trump is whether he did too well in the most recent presidential debate. He did not want to knock Joe Biden out of the election. He'd have been much better off if he kind of held back a little bit and helped Joe Biden look better, and then absolutely wiped the floor with him in September when it was too late for the Democrats to replace him.
It's interesting. I was pointing out this to someone the other day. This is one of the rare cases where Donald Trump did not jump out and just continue pummeling away on someone when they were down, because in this instance, it makes no sense to do so. He's getting it. Donald Trump is hanging out playing golf somewhere. No reason to be out there doing press conferences and things like that. Very smart on his part to kind of lay low here. So we'll see how that goes. Just from your legal mind here for a second, this immunity ruling, Congressman Brooks, it seems to deal a blow to the January 6th case more so than the documents case out of Mar-a-Lago. I did not see the New York City thing coming, but okay, we'll have that conversation. What's your prognosis on his legal path here forward? Which of these cases should worry him more than the others?
Well, he still has to worry about the business fraud because he's already got a jury verdict against him. And as best I understand the evidence in that case, all that occurred before he was president of the United States, in which case none of the immunity doctrine espoused by the Supreme Court applies. Now, flipping to the other two cases, the Washington, D.C. case, which deals with the so-called insurrection, which really was a First Amendment protected right of protest with the exception of some trespass and other criminal activities by a handful of people. I think the Supreme Court's immunity doctrine blows holes in the January 6th case that Jack Smith has against Donald Trump. Then we move down to Mar-a-Lago and the documents. Well, the possession of the documents, the hiding of the documents, a lot of that occurred after Donald Trump was no longer president, in which case the immunity doctrine espoused by the Supreme Court would not apply to any activity by Donald Trump after he left office January 20th of 2021. Now, we'll see how much of that case was based on Trump activity before January 20th of 2021 when he was still in office and how much is after.
It'll be interesting to see. Any of this get resolved before the election?
Well, it doesn't look like it's going to. I hate that the judicial system has been so slow. But again, give credit where credit is due. The Donald Trump team has done their utmost to delay justice. And in 3 of the 4 cases, it appears they have been extraordinarily successful. The only one not is the business fraud conviction in New York.
There we go. Thank you very much, former Congressman Mo Brooks. Thank you very much for being here. We always appreciate him making himself available. Coming up here in just a second, the parting shot. So stay tuned. It's Alabama Politics This Week.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. You can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, but you've got to call now. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Well, welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. Thank you very much for being here. Before we jump into the party shot, though, let me remind you about the 7 things you should be talking about today. Yes, the 7 things you should be talking about today, available for you right there at yellowhammernews.com. Go there, sign up for my email blast, and you'll be absolutely ecstatic that you did. Every day, the 7 things you should be talking about today will show up, and you'll be happy you went there. So go to yellowhammernews.com. Check that out, all the videos and other stuff there as well. But for right now, let's go ahead and get to that party shot. You know, my party shot this weekend is directed at our founding fathers. These are the guys who basically showed us how our government was going to work forever. How did they do that? Well, they signed the Declaration of Independence on July 2nd, and we celebrated on July 4th. Well, why is that? Well, because a lot of them did not sign it till July 4th. The first time it was ever read was July 8th. And then about a year later, and read by the public, to the public, about a year later, someone said to them, hey, about a year ago, you guys did something. That was on July 3rd. And then they decided, well, we'll just go ahead and we'll celebrate it on July 4th. Anyway, a complete convoluted mess. The history is far more complicated than I just laid out. But you can read up on this. And I thought it was just a very good way of looking at how our government operates right now. The only difference between the incompetence that we saw from the founding fathers on this one issue and the incompetence we see every day right now in the United States of America is the fact that most of these men were under 40 years old. They were not 900 years old trying to muddle their way through their days. And this, we're not just talking about Joe Biden, although that came up a lot in this show. There are people like Mitch McConnell, you have to think, even Donald Trump. All of these individuals, elderly to the point where maybe there's got to be someone a little bit better, a little bit younger, who could do a better job. But the fault lies not with the founding fathers, not even with these old men now. It's with us, the voters. We select these people. We elect these people. We have primary processes where we continue to go down the same path over and over and over again. Now, after this next election, maybe we will have a situation where the 2 principal players, at least at this point, will not be elderly individuals. Maybe. No guarantees on that. So maybe my party shot should be directed at us here on this Independence Day weekend. Hope you had a great one. If not, maybe we'll have a good one next week. And we will see you next week as well, right here on Alabama Politics This Week.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.